My name is Elizabeth Montgomery, and I've carried the weight of this story for years, a story that still haunts me. It was the early 1900s, and I was a student at Huntingdon College, a place known for its beautiful Gothic architecture, and eventually, for something far darker. I remember the day Margaret arrived. She was different from the rest of us, always dressed in red from head to toe. Her fiery red hair, crimson dresses, and ruby slippers earned her the nickname, the Red Lady. Margaret was shy, reserved, and painfully lonely. Despite her wealthy background, she never fit in. The other girls, including myself, whispered about her, often avoiding her like she carried some unseen curse. Margaret and I shared a dorm room. She was quiet, almost invisible in her presence, and our interactions were minimal. One particularly harsh winter night, I woke to find Margaret gone. The air in our room was frigid, and an overwhelming sense of dread settled in my chest. Her red scarf was missing, too. I assumed she had gone for a walk to clear her head, and thought little of it. Hours passed, and Margaret did not return. Anxiety gnawed at me, so I reported her disappearance. A search party was quickly organized, and we scoured the campus, calling out her name in vain. As dawn approached, we found her. Margaret's lifeless body hung from a tree on the edge of the campus, the red scarf tied tightly around her neck. Her eyes were open, wide with terror, and her red dress swayed gently in the cold breeze. The college was in an uproar. Margaret's death was ruled a suicide, but rumors of foul play spread like wildfire. Some said she had been driven to despair by the constant bullying. Others whispered of something far more sinister. Regardless, the tragedy cast a dark shadow over Huntingdon. After Margaret's death, strange occurrences began. Doors would open and close on their own, and unexplained cold drafts swept through the dormitories. Some claimed to see a figure in red moving silently through the halls, her eyes glinting with unspoken sorrow. I dismissed these stories as mere figments of overactive imaginations until one night. That winter's night, I was studying alone in my new dorm room. The air turned icy, and an overwhelming sense of dread filled me. Soft footsteps echoed behind me. I turned, my heart pounding, and saw Margaret, or what remained of her. The Red Lady stood there, her face pale, eyes hollow, and the red scarf still tied around her neck. I tried to scream, but no sound escaped my lips. Margaret's ghost moved closer, reaching out with cold, translucent fingers. "Why didn't you help me?" she whispered, her voice echoing with sorrow and accusation. I fled my room and never returned to Huntingdon. Margaret's ghost haunted my dreams and waking moments, her voice a constant reminder of my guilt. I had been a bystander to her suffering, and now I was the keeper of her story, a story that has haunted Huntingdon College and my soul ever since.